My name is Emily Lunden. I'm an occupational therapist at St. Luke's. I'm a primary on the spinal cord injury unit. My role in the continuum of care here at St. Luke's, we receive patients from acute care, and they are on their way home, but they are not quite ready to go home. My job as an occupational therapist is to prepare them to go home and helping them take care of themselves. The occupational part of it really confuses some people because most of our patients either don't have a job because they're retired or on disability or too young. So I always say, well, what are the things that occupy your day? Those are what we consider your occupations. So showering, dressing, bathing, getting your breakfast, feeding the cat. Those are the things that occupy your day, and I'm there to help you overcome the hurdles that are preventing you from doing those things safely and independently. And that's why you're here, and that's why I'm going to work with you. I am a very creative person from the core, and as a young high schooler, I wanted to go into the medical field, and my father, in his infinite wisdom, decided I probably didn't have enough patience to be in the medical field, so directed me away from that a little bit, and I actually was a landscape architect prior to becoming an occupational therapist. Loved the creativity part of it, but I didn't get to work with people, and that was what was missing, was that human interaction and being able to help people face to face. And so I started volunteering at Harborview. Actually, I was in Seattle at the time as an occupational therapist. I had heard about OT when I was a sophomore in high school, and I always thought, oh, that's really quite interesting. That's a creative take on the medical field, because as an OT, you have to be creative. You have to be able to think outside the box. You have to be able to deconstruct the box and even use the box if you need to. So I really liked that. And so at that point in time in that career change, I volunteered at Harborview's burn unit and loved it. Burns are gnarly. Thought I'd kind of be scared away from them, but just loved what they did. So I spent most of my free hours there, and I went back to school to become an OT. And I get to work with people on a daily basis and have the freedom to be creative, which is a perfect match. Currently, occupational therapy is a master's degree. Really good question. I knew that I needed to get my master's. I had my bachelor's. I then looked at all the schools in the state of Washington. I wanted to stay in Washington to look at what their requirements were to get into their master's program. I kind of thought that I didn't have much of a chance because I was a landscape architect. And in my head, I was like, who in the heck is gonna want to hire me or include me in their program, because I have such a unique background. A lot of the backgrounds that they were taking are psychology, kinesiology, biology, things that made more sense. So I just gave it a shot for everybody and applied to each program. Much to my surprise, I got into all three. But I think it was because of that unique background that I was of interest to them, because the field of occupational therapy, you need the diversity, you need the creativity. A day in my life in inpatient rehab is I do have a set schedule. I walk in, I typically start off seeing patients right away. I'm going to settle in, do some chart reviews, and then I'll see 2 to 3 patients, take a little break to document on that, see a couple more. I usually see patients for an hour to an hour and a half at a time, depending on if I'm evaluating them. The shortest I'll see them is a half hour. Lunch break, and then I at it again, see more patients, and then I'll do some of wrap my day up with scheduling and finishing my documentation. Once they're dressed ready for the day, that's not the end of their day. A lot of it is community access, because getting yourself dressed and ready for the day is only a small portion of who you are and what you do. So we'll often come down to our community and work on grocery activities. Sometimes they're limited by spinal precautions. They can't bend over. Well, then how are they going to get the juice off the bottom shelf? Maybe it's traumatic brain injury and they have difficulty scanning items or picking one specific item out of a whole bunch. It's just too overwhelming for them. So it's a great opportunity for us here to work on strategies to help them overcome that challenge and help them figure out how to access the community.